So the only block was for Facebook.com for social network category. So I think mine, even after using the application filtering, it is still allowing. So yeah.
Kumar, after net rule, where you have to create the policy means net rule already created. Now this allow the traffic, no, that I am not able to miss from this 246.6 machine. I am not able to open google.com actually.
So have you deployed the policy?
Yeah, I deploy the policy.
Okay, so there is a command in the chat. Just to run that command on the putty of the FTD. It will show you the phases it is going through, and it should show you allow. And check the netting also whether it is translating to the correct address or not.
What is the command? In Clish mode, no? In the Clish mode.
Clish also you can run, yeah. Either
Okay.
Clish or Lina mode, both you can run.
Okay, okay, okay.
I think YouTube is blocked for my, like it is not opening up anything. It is rounding only.
Yeah, what is the command, Kumar?
You can see in the chat packet tracer input inside that command is there, right? I put it in the chat some time back.
Okay, okay, 1 minute, I will check. Okay, yeah, packet tracer, yeah.
Yeah, so what happens, as I told, right, this YouTube and all, there are a lot of applications which uses a lot of other URL in the background. So
Yes.
the streaming and all should be stopped. So it will partially load if you're not blocking it properly. So in my case, that's happening. It is blocking it, but sort of partially blocking it because you cannot see the whole page. Mostly whatever was under the YouTube only category, I think it is blocked, but then the streaming and all those things, these tabs are from streaming providers. So for that, we may need a streaming configuration. So now we have added the streaming media. I think that's what you have done, right, Nilesh? So now when we'll do the deployment, it should stop it. So it's totally use case based. Again, it will totally depends on what kind of a network it is, what is the customer's requirement and all those things. We are handling currently 1 or 2 number of rules here, but definitely there is a lot of documentation being done and a lot of planning being done before putting the access rules or netting and everything in place. So yeah, just demonstrating on how we can choose and how we can configure and deploy.
Yeah, Kumar, in action is coming drop reason is saying flow is denied by the configure rule. Where we have to allow this traffic actually?
Have you created the access control policy to allow traffic from your
yeah, that's right. I think yeah, access control policy I not miss out ever. So where again I have to policy and create
go to
ACP
policy and then access control.
Yeah, policy, access control policy and new policy, no? Correct, new policy.
No. Policy will be same. First ACP or whatever you have created.
Okay.
Rule.
Okay, in this only we have to edit the functionality.
Yeah, and you have to keep adding the rules whenever you have a need. Don't have to add a new policy. You have to add a new rule.
Okay. On the same policy, we have to only the new add rule, the add rule. Okay, here there is add category and add rule is there. So we have to add the rules. Okay, here only.
Yes.
Like here, source, inside destination.
So while it is deploying, I will demonstrate how add category works. So let's say you have 7 or 8 rules which are totally working for URL filtering, like some URLs, some categories it is blocking, some URL and categories it is allowing, and you want to keep them under a category and name it as URL policy. So you can just create from here. It is again just for the namesake. So it does not make any effect on the device. It is just for seeing and for the ease of the administrator that he can recall that why that policy was created and under which category, what those rules are doing. So let's say if I just put URL rules. I'll just type URL rules. So now you can see URL rules, and now I can place this one. We have this move option. So from here you can choose into category, and the category name will be here. So once you choose this, it will place this rule under the URL rule. But in our case, we may not want to do that, because again, it will move to the bottom and the allow rule will be in the top. So that will never match this bottom rule. So we have to design those categories also in a manner that whichever rules are supposed to be accessed first or are supposed to be traversed first, those needs to be on the top categories. So actually there is a proper document by Cisco, best practice document, which talks about how to decide the sequence of the access control policies. Your layer 7, why and how your layer 7 rules should always be on the top categories, and your layer 3 and 4 rules should be in the below categories. So those things, there are a lot of best practices, and a lot of times it happens that the rules are present and the customer would think that, okay, it is supposed to block something or allow something, but it is not working as expected. And the reason would end up to be the sequence of the rules, what they have placed. So yeah, these things matter too much. Now the policy is deployed. Yeah, Kalpesh, we are.
Yeah, 1 minute, 1 minute. I created the rule. 1 minute. NGFW.
Yeah, this Facebook one was, you can see it didn't load. It tried to load for a very long time, and then in the end, through a timeout error,